FM. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget to watch us too on SuperTalk TV, which you can find us on your computer or your mobile device. And don't forget too, our SuperTalk Mississippi news team. They are covering your Mississippi stories. And if you want to stay up to date, then their free weekly newsletter is over at supertalk.fm/newsletter. It's a Monday here on Good Things. So we got Caleb joining us to give us some of the good headlines that are over there. So what's up?
What's going on, Rebecca? One, I want to give a shout out to Rhino again. Good music as always. That song ironically makes me think of a clip, and I probably shouldn't admit this. I watch Family Guy from here time to time. There was a clip in one of the episodes where Peter Griffin, one of the main characters, asked his buddy, he's like, well, what was Paul Simon without Garfunkel? And his buddy was like, wildly successful. And so, yeah, I think of that song whenever I see that episode. Rebecca, we've got a lot of cool things happening in Mississippi right now. I didn't mean to get us started on an aside, but I thought that was really funny. But you know, it's Christmas time. It's the holiday season.
We can say Christmas now.
You can blast Mariah Carey all you want.
You won't hear. I'm sorry, it won't happen.
Same. Not in my car either, but it's justified.
No, it's
now.
Rhino. Rhino won't do it for me.
It's justified, and I don't blame him. It's justified if you do it now in your cars, if you're listening. I was listening to Christmas music on my way to the office this morning, and yesterday I never really get in the, man, I just really want to listen to Christmas music. But yesterday, on my way to church, I was kind of like, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thankfully, we got plenty of radio stations that are blaring Christmas music, and so I was just diving into it. And one thing I really like to do during this time of year, especially since I live not far from it, is the Canton Lights. I know you had the Canton Lights people on last week talking about all the festivities. Well, I indulged yesterday. My significant other and I went downtown to the square, and y'all, if you're out in central Mississippi, whether you live here, or you're visiting, or what you're doing, or whether you're on your way down to Hattiesburg this weekend for high school football championships, stop in Canton. It's really, the lights are beautiful. They've got all sorts of festivities. I did a little more than I normally do. I went into there were a couple little antique shops and kind of knick-knacky shops, and I'm not a shopping guy, but I found myself like, oh, my grandmother would love this. Oh, my mom would love this. Oh, my dad would actually think this is pretty cool. And I've got an 8-year-old little brother. So I'm like, oh, he'd love this. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to spend way too much money here. But it was cool. And they have little, a place where you can go. It's kind of like a Where's Waldo. There's a big Christmas themed, it's like you're in an old town. It's in one of the buildings on the square, and they give you this card, and you have to find specific items. And there's these little rooms or little designated areas where you're trying to find these little items and check it off your list. And that was really fun. There's a there's a train area in one of the buildings on the square, and they have all sorts of Christmas houses and lights and everything you could imagine. There's a place where you can go get cookies and milk and sit down and just enjoy, talking camaraderie. I highly recommend going out to Canton. Shameless plug for Canton Lights. It's beautiful. I love it. And also the 50 Nights of Lights is going on in Cleveland. And anybody who hasn't been out there for that, I recommend that as well. But on the news side of things, Rebecca, we've got Topgolf. Well, I've talked about this before on the show, but we're really nearing
December 20th.
December 20th. That's what we're hearing. I'm working to officially confirm that, but that's what we're hearing. And
unofficially, then.
Right. But that's what we've heard, though. I think that's the right date. I'm working to officially confirm that, though. But it'll be open here soon, and it's going to be 60 climate-controlled bays. Climate-controlled is the big word there because, right now it's cold in Mississippi, but it doesn't stay that way very long. It gets hot, but they got AC. But you just get to swing your little heart away and hit the ball as much as you want. But it's not people. I think the mayor of Ridgeland did a good job on one of our shows explaining it's not a golf course. It's not technically a driving range, which you could treat it as that, but it's kind of an everything place. If you want to go, just hit the ball a couple of times, but you're really wanting to just eat lunch or hang out, you can do that. They've got plenty of seating areas. They've got seating in all the bays. They've got TVs. If you're wanting, I'm a big sports guy, as y'all know. If I'm wanting to go watch just a series of football games, but also not just be trapped in my house, and I can go to Topgolf. I can hit the ball around. I can eat and drink, and then also watch football during basketball when they do March Madness. I love going to Topgolf because they've got a million TVs with a million games on. I've been in Birmingham. I've been in Mobile, in Alabama. I've been in Dallas, Texas area.
I've never been.
So, you are in for a treat, Rebecca. And you don't have to. And the thing is, I'm terrible at golf. I hardly ever golf on my own. My grandfather is probably rolling in his grave thinking of that. He wanted me to golf so badly. But I love Topgolf, though. I've always, every time I go to Topgolf, I'm like, man, I've never had a bad time at Topgolf. So, yeah, that'll be open soon, and I recommend going if you're, again, it's going to be in Ridgeland.
Do they take reservations?
I believe so. Actually,
because that's going to be important at the beginning.
I think they do. That's a good question because every time
Rhino's shaking his head, so
they do. Okay, cool.
I'd call
They
and
usually
ask.
do, yeah.
And that makes
usually
sense.
reserve
because I think I got a
spot.
reservation. I went to the Peach Bowl last year when Ole Miss played Penn State, and I was covering that here for Super Talk. But I had a little free time, and so me and the group I was with went to Top Golf for a little leisurely activities. I think we did have a reservation for that. So yes, they do take reservations.
Because I feel like it's not somewhere you're going to want to come up and just sit and wait in the beginning.
But you can. They have a restaurant. They have a lobby area where you can, if you don't like waiting, you're not a big fan of waiting an hour for a bay, but you can sit down and get something to eat and something to drink. They've got a bar too, so if you're into that, you can get something to drink too and kind of pass the time. They do a really good job of keeping you occupied, keeping you entertained, even if you're not swinging the golf
People are
club.
definitely excited about it.
According to their website, you can book a reservation up to 14 days in advance.
There you
using
go.
the app or the website.
There you go. See, Rhino, you should just be part of the news team. There you go. But I'm excited. But this is just phase one of what they're going to do with this property. There's plans to bring in a national grocery store. We don't know which one specifically, but they're going to bring hotels and like a riverfront area, like where you can see water. That's the plans. That's all. Top Golf is the spiral getting set in motion. Cool. And so that'll be here soon. Hopefully everything else will come to fruition in the near future. But for now, we have the Top Golf. And if you drive by Ridgeland High School, it's right next to the high school, which is where I graduated from, ironically. You can see it's there. And it's bright and beautiful. You can even see it from the interstate. And if you go up there, you look, and, okay, yeah, this bad boy is about to be open. And I'm personally excited about it, too. And I know a lot of people here are. And speaking of staying with the Christmas theme, as we talked about earlier, we've got Christmas by Candlelight Tour on Friday. We've got a bunch of stops, right? They're going to be at the two Mississippi museums, the Governor's Mansion. They're going to be at the State Capitol and the Old Capitol Museum. You'll get live music, arts and crafts, some of these trackless train rides. I know more catered for children and younger people, but adults can have fun at these events listening to music. And I like to immerse myself during this time of year anyway, but there'll be pictures with Santa Claus and everything. So again, if you're looking for something fun to do this Friday and you have some time to spare between 4 and 8, so usually people are off work sometime in that vicinity. That's
usually in central Mississippi, correct?
Yeah. It's all these locations are in Jackson that they're stopping at this year. But there's going to be plenty of Christmas-themed events going on. We talked about earlier Harbor Lights in Gulfport. If you're on the coast, go down there. It's fun. A lot of lights. I know Mississippi Aquarium is going to be doing. I just looked this up. We wrote about this earlier. They're going to be doing a projection mapping show this Christmas season too. You can find that more SuperTalk.fm and lots of holiday.
If you're bored
activities.
this holiday season, it's your fault.
It's your fault. It's your fault. Things going on in Meridian, things going on in South Haven, and things going on in Cleveland and Vicksburg, Jackson, down to the coast, and every corner of the state is touched this holiday season. So I mean, you have to be going out of your way not to find something to do.
I agree with that. But sometimes it's nice just to sit inside and look at your own decorations that you put up. Are yours put up, Caleb? Have you gotten your decorations up?
Don't help me. I have not yet.
That's okay. It's December the 2nd.
I know. It's like everybody else. My entire family is like, has their trees up, has decorated their trees, have their mantles covered with stockings and everything. I'm like, I can wait a little bit to do this. No, my plan was to go Christmas tree shopping this past weekend, but the weekend kind of got away from me. But I'm going to go this weekend and get it.
Are you a real tree or a long-lasting tree, an everlasting tree? We're learning the right politically correct ways to say it.
I like getting a natural or long-lasting one, but I'm not going to be Clark Griswold and force my family out to the middle of the forest and chop down a tree that we can't.
Well, they'll chop them down for you.
But I'm not going to go. I'll go to Walmart and get one. I mean, I'm indiscriminate though. I like it either way, but usually I go with the more affordable and longer-lasting option. That's kind of the money-saving side of me speaking. I'll get an artificial tree this year, but I do like the natural trees, and I do support our tree farmers in Mississippi, too. And I know my grandparents like to get a natural tree. I know some of my uncles do that every year, too. And so I 100% support that and would if I weren't as kind of lazy or I guess maybe forward-thinking in that realm. But I like
You're
to
not lazy. It's all in tradition and what families choose to do. And also, even if you're not into the live or real Christmas trees, they do real wreaths. Like they also do the wreaths, and like even just for your doors or things, even if you have your everlasting trees up, the smell is amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the smell is
The
absolutely
natural pine.
that natural pine, like when you walk in or whatever it may be. But don't forget, those also need to be kept moist.
Yes.
And you don't want to just set those over your fireplace.
Oh gosh, no, and I think and we'll have plenty of how to avoid fires during this Christmas season. We did a bunch of that for Thanksgiving last week, and that'll be coming out soon on SuperTalk.fm too. So if you want to stay safe this holiday season, keep up with us.
Absolutely, and look at that lifestyle button. It's my favorite button there.
Right.
I'll put all the good stuff. Caleb, I appreciate your time, so I can say now Merry Christmas.
Merry
'cause we're
Christmas.
officially in the season. All right, stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.